Hello my dear friends, Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to Top Lesson for you friends. We are discussing about the anatomy of the human respiratory system. So in the last lecture we discussed about the anatomy of the trachea. Now after trachea we are going to discuss about the anatomy of the lungs, right? So lungs are also known as pulmons. What are lungs? The lungs or pulmons are the principal organs of respiration. Principal organs of respiration means that they are the organs through which respiration occurs, and respiration means in two manners. One, we mean that respiration is the breakdown of organic food, and on the other mean we say that respiration is actually the gaseous exchange, the transport of oxygen to the blood and carbon dioxide from blood to the lungs, right? So lungs are the principal organs of respiration. Lungs are homeostatic organs which help in the homeostasis of respiratory gases. Homeostasis means it does not let any change to occur in the concentration of respiratory gases. So respiratory gases are carbon dioxide and oxygen. So lungs are the organs which help to bring homeostasis of respiratory gases in our body. The main function of lungs is to oxygenate the blood, right? That is exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between inspired air and blood. When we inhale the air, oxygen goes inside the lungs and carbon dioxide which have been formed in the tissues is brought by blood to the lungs. So from the lungs the carbon dioxide moves, from the blood the carbon dioxide rushes to the lungs, to the alveoli, and from the alveoli oxygen rushes to the blood, diffuses to the blood. So the main function of lungs is to oxygenate the blood, and other than that there are also other functions which we will see next. Lungs are the porous, highly elastic and spongy in nature. They are porous, they are highly elastic in nature because they are composed of millions of alveoli, and alveoli are air sacs. Lungs float on water because the density of lungs is less. So lungs will float on the surface of water, they will not dip. Lungs are made up of bronchopulmonary tree and air sacs called alveoli. So the composition of lungs are made up of bronchopulmonary tree, which we will discuss later, and the air sacs, millions of air sacs, 400 millions of air sacs are present, 2 million in each lung, right? This was just the introduction. Now what is the location of the lungs? Our lungs are located inside the chest cavity, and inside the chest cavity they are located in the pleural cavity or pleural sac. So in the chest cavity there is pericardial cavity, there is mediastinal cavity, and there are the pleural cavities. So lungs are located in the pleural cavity. The size of the lungs, the length of the lungs is about 21 centimeter in average, but it can become 24 centimeter to 27 centimeter. The shape of the lungs is conical in shape. It means that it has an apex and a base. So this is the base of the lungs and this is the apex of the lungs. We will see it later. What is the color of the lungs? In young children, its color is rosy pink, and in adults its color is dark red because of the accumulation of carbon dioxide in it. So the color of the lungs a little bit changes. What is the weight of the lungs? The right lung is little bit heavier than the left lung. The weight of the right lung is 750 grams and the left lung is 650 grams. How many lobes the lungs have? The right lung has 3 lobes and the left lung has 2 lobes. You can see here superior lobe, middle lobe, inferior lobe, and here only superior lobe and inferior lobe. How many fissures? Our right lung has 2 fissures, one is horizontal and one is oblique fissure, and left lung has only one oblique fissure, right? And the nature of the lungs is spongy and elastic in nature. So friends, this was just the introduction of the lungs. You can see here the lungs. Now, what are the parts of the lungs? So our lungs has an apex, it has a base, it has borders, and it has surfaces. So let us see about the apex of the lungs, right?